Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of The Way We HNC It. It's a pleasure to be back with you. There's been a lot going on in the flag football world because the sport never, ever stops. This evening, I'm joined once again by Cammy Wilson. Cammy, welcome back. How are things going? It's been a busy little while for you.
Just off the Prague Winter League, covering my body as much as I can before a big weekend in Prague.
A big weekend in Prague. It is, of course, Champions Bowl weekend, Winter League last weekend, WFFL the weekend before. Flag football never ever stops, and we have a jam-packed show to be getting through this evening or whenever it is that you are listening to the show. And yes, a welcome to you as well, our lovely podcast audience. So yeah, Cammy, where shall we start in the flag football world?
Let's go from south to north. Start with WFFL.
Start south to north, the WFFL, and straight away we were back into classic WFFL autumnal shenanigans as Storm Amy
Took its
smashed
first
into our shores, derailed the HNC game day. A definite wise decision by our friends in Edinburgh. If what it was like here was anything to go by, you would have had me getting in a car. Absolutely no chance to drive through that. But we did get football in the MSC, hosted by our friends and last year's playoff team, the London Flame. And it was a pretty good day. Word on the ground was that while it wasn't enough poor weather to stop play, it was certainly enough to influence play, shall we say. So yeah, we never really got our full kind of preview quite wrapped up, Cammy, but what were you looking forward to going into this?
One big and obvious game that we were looking forward to, a rematch of last year's final.
Yes, game one, field one, week one.
Schedule week was never been fun with this, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a weird one. I don't think that is a big deal. Like, it was obviously when we posted the schedule, we're like, guys, what's your game of the week? A lot of folk got back. We're like, Coventry Derby. And yeah, I get it. It's the two top teams from last year, but it's also a week after the Euros and they make up 80% of that team. And if I'm being honest with these two, there's only one Coventry Derby that matters, and that's if there's a third one.
Playoff, baby.
If it happens at Ravenscraig, that's the one that matters. I don't think either team will lose too much sleep over whether they're first or second in their division. Whether they win or lose these games, I think they've got... Now, obviously, you want to win your division, and I think you're quite rightly bummed if you lose the game, but I don't see this as being a massive deal, really, which is kind of counterintuitive when you've got the top two teams in the country in a division going at it. But it's just, I don't know. I think it lacked.
I mean, it's like, as you said, of our gold medalists coming back over from Paris were involved in these two teams, and from what I hear, not a lot of them played. They were still kind of nursing niggles and looking after themselves, which they should do because your health is important. And what's the best ability? What's the thing that Gregor says? Availability.
Yeah, what's the best ability? Your availability, exactly.
Yeah,
so, for sure. And like, you know, I guess the big news for the Cougars is that they've pulled in a couple of extra transfers from other teams. Obviously Jess Allen headlining that kind of new class of Coventry Cougars, playing with her, continuing the link up with Grace and the rest of that offense. And yeah, a couple of others moving over as well from the Huntsmen. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the storyline potentially. There is, once again, are the Cougars the team to beat? I don't know if they are, because the Panthers are the team to beat until they're no longer the champions. Like that's always been our belief on the show is like, but if there's a title belt on hand, then but I don't. It was a lot of people's pick for game of the week. I don't see it as that until March.
No, completely agree. It was the big talking point, but there wasn't much to talk about after it, to be honest. Speaking about the transfers and stuff, there's been a fair amount of movement. I know probably the biggest sufferer were the Huntsmen, but I'm intrigued to see the difference that it makes because while Jess is a phenomenal quarterback and Grace is a great young talent, if did anybody that played in the final last year make the mistakes that they could then come and change? Did Millie, when she was at QB, do something that Jess couldn't, or vice versa? You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Like, I think Millie
Yeah,
played
yeah. It's like
a
if
pretty
does it
phenomenal
make a
game for it
difference?
to come down to overtime. And while it may be quite a controversial take, obviously Jess has got her rightful throne as the QB of the gold winning European team, and that's nothing to be sniffed at. I'm not sure how much is going to change. And I know I am
Oh, I
somewhat
think you're.
biased
Oh,
to.
I think you are. I think you're teeing yourself up for some absolute pelters there.
Oh, I
I
can't
think it.
wait for this to
I
be
think it.
played back to me.
I cannot disagree more. I think. I think that it. I think it changes. I think their offense changes. I think it just frees. I think it frees people up. I think that's the biggest thing. Is like you've now got QB1 of the nation, right? So now they were using Kelly as an option quarterback. So right now, what do? You use Millie, who's won more rings than I have fingers. Like okay, so now is she your like not a bad option quarterback. Like I know they didn't play, so like we don't know the answer to this, and I guess no one outside the Panthers' inner sanctum knows the answer. Sorry, the Cougars' inner sanctum knows the answer to that question, but yeah, I think it makes them way more dangerous.
Be
It's
intrigued.
I
Intrigued to see.
I'm intrigued to see it, and it will all come down to we may sit here in March and one of us will be right, but yeah, I think it's very difficult to look beyond the Cougars, which is a weird thing to say after week one. Um, for me, outside of that, I think the Flame are an interesting team to keep an eye on. I think the Amazons, I was interested in them. Obviously, they missed out on the final day last year by the barest
End of the
of all
teeth, yeah.
margins, but I believe Natalie's not playing this year, which impacts them. And obviously, anytime you lose a quarterback, it impacts them. So I guess we'll just have
The waiting
to
game.
wait and see. And the Huntsmen obviously lost a group of players, but brought in their youth program's always been
Yep.
very good. And I kind of I think they'll learn a lot. I don't know if this is their year. I think it's not necessarily the athletes that you lose
Yeah.
singly. It's the between the years as well that you lose. Like you lose a lot of experience from any team at any level. Like that impacts you. So I think in the of the four MSC spots that are available, I can comfortably call the Flame and the two Coventry sides. I would predict.
Mm,
Who takes spot number 4 is is wide open to me. Wide open to me. Like, could it be one of the second teams? Could it be the Blaze or the Ice? Potentially. Do the Amazons work it out? Do the Huntsmen work it out? Don't know. But very, very excited to see it. And obviously over in the HNC as well, we've got that day that was missed will be made up. I don't have when that will be, but there was 2 makeup weekends in the schedule, so one of them, I guess. I mean, I'm guessing that Edinburgh need to go through the process of like rebooking with Edinburgh Leisure and all that kind
yeah.
of stuff, and or it'll get moved or whatever. But all that's to come, and there's no rush because the makeup days aren't until February.
It's a horrible, like, I feel so bad for the Edinburgh girls. Like, horrible way to start your first.
Yeah, and like they've spent obviously so long building up to this moment, and then to
Yeah.
have it kind of pushed back,
They,
a month until you get to go for the next one, and opening your new team and your new club at home, like that's pretty comfortable. Whereas next
Special, isn't
time,
it? Yeah,
now they're having to go, having to go south the border and all that. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, excited to see kind of Edinburgh get involved and obviously see their team expand, see the club, the Outlaws expand. Like they've come amazing success story a long way from the days that there's maybe been 6 or 7 guys turning up for Edinburgh. Like when I started, they weren't the biggest club, but yeah, now two mixed sides and a women's team. That's absolutely class.
absolutely boomed since COVID.
Yeah, exactly, and it's great, and it's a credit to kind of the guys that are in the kind of the administrative roles in the club. Obviously, the 2 Titans teams back, the 2 Pirates teams back, Aberdeen, the Huskies, and the Giants to round out that division. So we'll see where they end up. But top of the table at the moment, the Cougars and the Flame, 3 games, 3 wins, followed by the Panthers, Onyx.
What game? I love that. Onyx
Onyx
and
is
Nice.
good. Onyx is good.
Onyx and Nice.
Onyx are nice. That's good. And then the Leicester Huntsmen, the Amazons, the Panthers, Ice, the Blaze, the Spears, and University of Nottingham Gold. So good to see those teams back as well. A nice 9-strong division. And yeah. I'm not saying the entire regular season means nothing. I realize that's probably what it sounds like. I think I spoke to someone about this recently, and I basically likened it to in the cross-conference games in the NFFL, Cardiff and London for the last 5 years have known, basically, that they're both going to make the playoffs. And
Yeah,
they don't. It would be nice, the winner obviously has a better chance of the number 1 seed. Of course they do. And it's nice to win that game. But they also don't see it as a season-ending loss if it happens in July, because the one they care about is in September. So I'm looking at it like that. Like, yeah, you get a look at them, you learn a bit. The result doesn't derail your season, doesn't knock you out of the playoffs, and both of those teams know that they're probably going to have to go through each other
at
at some point
Yeah,
in March anyway. And yeah, it's something I'm very much looking forward to seeing again. If there's any chance of that, then looking forward to seeing that, and looking forward to sharing that with the rest of our community. But yeah, if you have thoughts on the WFFL and the way it's going, you have any predictions, particularly around the HNC, we'll be covering that next week in the build-up. So make sure that you get in touch via the old DMs. They will be wide open. Women's Flag Football League underway
kicked off.
again.
Feels
Hype.
like weeks ago that we were sat up in the gantry in Ravenscraig in way too fancy gear
Hype.
than we belong in.
And very hyped to do it all over again.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Golf Winter League. Ravenscraig. It's going to be a high Ravenscraig coverage winter. So yeah, Ravenscraig Winter League. 4 age brackets, 35 teams.
I believe so.
34, 35 teams. Football between now and March. 12-minute running clock format with some kind of funky
The point system.
point
I like the
system.
point system.
I do like the point system. I think it's good. Shamelessly nicked from the Six Nations and other kind of rugby tournaments around there. But yeah, it's all.
So for those that aren't
It's all good in
familiar
the hood.
with the point system, there is extra points given if you shut a team out, if you score over 30, I'm not sure if it's 32 or 33 points, and or if you lose by less than a score, I believe, is what the 3 extra points are. And my Newcastle Blackhawks that I am ringing for this season doesn't show it in the Tournify yet, but we're actually owed 1 more point. We are sitting healthily at the top of the table above last year's champions Top Gun. We're still yet to play them, but that doesn't mean anything. I'm sure we'll be top of the table after we play them as well. I'd like to hope.
Whoa.
But yeah, great first day out. It was just seniors this week, and then obviously playing the first sort of half year round robins. But yeah, it was a fairly calm day. There was nothing weird getting back in the 12-minute format. You kind of feel like you're just getting into the game. You look up and you're like, I've got less than 2 minutes to go down there and score.
Yes. I usually find with those matches that like I am like at this time of year when you kind of wander into Winter League, or for many people obviously you play full length games and then you get round to um like Iron Man or Winter or what's the other one, Flag of New Year.
Like here.
You're like the first game, halfway through the first half, you're just gassed.
Yeah.
Like, just fully gassed. Like, you wouldn't think the 25 to 20-second play clock makes that much of a difference, but if you've got a ref crew that are like, the ball spotted, go, you're like, oh shit.
Talking about that, I would like to take my hats off to the Grangemouth team that turned up, because they finished the day playing with 4 people. Went up against Border City Legion in what was quite a tough game for them. Joe at quarterback. Teddy was there to snap the ball, but he couldn't run. He couldn't do anything. So it was. And then on defense, they ran with no blitz, and they finished that game out. And also, hats off to Nick Weston, because he actually then suited up for Grangemouth against the team that he coaches, just because
Just to
things
make
were
sure, yeah.
getting a bit out of hand. But yeah, props to them,
Good.
both
Good.
the team and Nick.
Yeah,
But honestly,
like
it
that.
was pretty much as you'd expect. There's a lot of fresher teams in there. It's not the Border City Centurions, it's the Border City Legion.
It is.
Some of the Border City Centurions are playing with Top Gun. You've got your usual Aberdeen. It's mostly Silver Cats with a few Oil Cats sprinkled in. Killer Bees are staying true to their nature. It's not a Glasgow team that's in this year. It is Glasgow Killer Bees, and they went 2-1, I believe. I think they had a tie with Renfrew.
There was 2 ties, I think, wasn't there, on the day?
I believe so.
Maybe not. Yeah.
I wasn't part of either of them, so. And then Renfrew have got a very young squad as well, which is quite exciting to see. Headed up, I think Ross and not Willie McNabb, Willie McLaughlin are kind of taking leadership roles there, doing their things. Andy Houghton's there to help out too. So a lot of old faces, but there's quite a lot of new as well, which is really good to see.
It's good. It's good for the Raptors, because it was the same. They had a really good core for a long time, but we're kind of struggling with recruitment. And then I was very pleasantly surprised playing D1 ball with them this year. Like, the number of people that I didn't recognize on their squad, which is great. Like we said about Edinburgh before, credit to them for getting out and doing a bit of recruitment and pulling people in, because for a long time, for a lot of teams, it has been a struggle. And now I think we're starting to see a lot of teams up and down the country. We're seeing second squads going in and stuff. So it's really cool. And both Winter League's great for that, because you join a club. If you join a club in September and the team's already been knocked out, it's like, what? So I just come and play in the park until April. Like, it's a bit strange, isn't it? It's not going to, but Winter League gives that amazing chance for people to play in that indoor environment, that controlled environment. And I know that he's not really involved in any of the organisation anymore, but I think like Tree and the guys at Carnegie that started the whole thing and kicked it all off back at Orium can be really kind of psyched about the arms and legs that it's grown. I think you and I met at Winter League, didn't we? Was that not our first?
The first time me and you ever spoke, you told me about how you were doing a headstand on a boogie board or something, and then hurt.
Yeah, broke my neck.
It was genuinely the first ever conversation we had.
Yeah. I think someone had been like, "Oh, we could just hit him," and I was like, "Please don't do that. Please, the bones are only just in line. Please don't." Please don't do that.
Go back to like when it was first streamed, and when towards like the start of the birth of the podcast, where we done the review show. There was you.
Oh, the post game.
Santa Claus.
It was all good. Yeah, those were it was very silly back then, but it opened a lot of doors for us. Yeah, I think like the way that Winter League has just grown and grown and grown has been amazing, and the fact that it's now kind of under that Scoff banner is class. And
bringing youth into it too.
Yeah, 3 divisions of youth, under 17s,
14s and
under 11s. So that's great. They'll get kicked off over the next couple of sessions. And obviously, we've got the second round of adult games before the first split. And then there'll be the
7th of November, I think it is.
yeah, so the next round of games will start in November. That'll be the end of the first round robin.
Yep.
And then the top half and the bottom half will split into two groups.
Yep. And then another one at the end of
And then
November.
another split at the end so that the top lot play again
Yeah.
for the winner. And then there'll be the two plate brackets below that. And then there'll be youth carry on until April.
Yeah.
March or April.
It's great.
That's a feat of logistics.
And do you know what? I am so thankful it's like this year, because going back to last year when I turned up at like 10 o'clock in the morning and I'm there till like 7 o'clock at night because I'm playing and then I'm coaching, and it's just chaos. So bless the calendar god that whoever
Yeah.
here is young. Bless you. Thank you.
Youngie. Cheers, Youngie. Yeah. For starting us out, yeah, I think it is. I think it is a little bit better that way, and means allows people to hydrate and actually speak sense at the kids' games. So yeah, that's really really good.
Have you got a way too early prediction?
Winter League's weird, right? Because the correct answer, and the correct answer every year, is Top Gun, and it has been
For the past 4 years?
for a while.
Yeah.
However, like the defending champions are Aberdeen flag football because they clawed their way into the playoffs in fourth place and then had a great final day. But like and it's 12-minute football, right? So if you make a mistake, then you could be down, and then you kind of don't have enough time to deal with it. So it's hard. I mean, I think the top four at the moment are probably not a bad indicator. Yourselves in Newcastle, Aberdeen, Top Gun. I think it just depends on who turns up. You know, like the Legion just need to pull in a couple of their guys that aren't with Top Gun. They start winning some games. The Raptors pull in a more Raptor-y team. They win a couple of games. You know, like there's folk up and down the lineup that you just.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about like pulling people in, but it is really nice to see Winter League football be what it was originally made for, back when it was the Killer Bees, the Kings, Silver Cats, Sabres. Were the Sabres there? I can't even remember. Whoever it was.
Yeah, the Sabres were there one year.
And the Colts. And when it was all the second teams. And yeah, it was all Div 1
with
teams.
a smattering. Yeah.
Carnegie, yeah. But yeah, it's lovely. Like, I'm happy to see it.
And I think as well, like it's important for us up here to remember that like we're very aware of how lucky we are with our indoor provision in Scotland.
Oh, absolutely. There's a reason Newcastle, Lancashire,
Border City.
Centurions.
And then look at the kids like Burnley.
Yeah.
You know, the Tornadoes are going to come up. Like, I don't even know where Burnley is, but it ain't close.
No.
It's not close. You know?
Getting them to come up, like, there's a reason that women's league's held there, that we have so many events through the winter here, and it's because it's a great facility, and they fixed the roof. It was fucking roasting in there. It's the first time I've played in there since they fixed the roof. Jesus Christ, it was sweaty.
Well, that bodes well for Flag and New Year, when we're going to put like 3 times the number of people in that room. So, events open again, please. Yeah. Well, that's good.
Happy it's back. It's the first time I've got to play football just for fun, with no expectation of going out and absolutely doing 100%. I would never give anything less for my Newcastle Blackhawks, or have to organise a team and rally a team and manage a team. And it's just so much fun to just breathe for a minute.
Nice. Yeah. Good. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess the opposite extreme of that.
I've had a nice, relaxing weekend of football.
We'll be kicking off this weekend the most competitive flag football tournament, invite only, in Europe, will be taking place this weekend in Prague, in Czechia. And obviously, Cammy, you'll be there for Champions Bowl as one of the Glasgow Hornets. So this is based on Champions Bowl is invite only, basically based upon the year previous
season.
the previous season, and some teams have their seasons at different times of year. So it's kind of an interesting one to try and work your head around. As far as UK teams are concerned, Champions Bowl 2025 is always the 2024 champions because it happens obviously here in October,
So
working it out
next
within a
year,
month. So next year,
it'll be
it'll be you
ourselves.
guys again. I don't know if any of you heard that hint just drop to remind us that Cammy won his second national championship. That's what that noise was. But yes, and then after I think all the first
News
team,
you didn't cover. Sorry, just going off track here. Someone's retiring.
someone is retiring, and that because we didn't do the damn news today. That's why we haven't spoken about it. Hang on, let's. Okay, I was going to try the drum roll, but it didn't. It's not. It's not playing. So, yeah, we didn't speak about that.
Round of applause for Charlie
Round of
Williams.
applause for Charlie Williams. Our there we go. That one worked. Our great British national team quarterback for the men's team, Charlie Williams. He's been with the team 2019. Hung up his GB shirt this week after the end after the European Championships. Isn't going to try out. Isn't going to be back for next year. Charlie obviously kind of most recently in the kind of the post-COVID era. Six overall spot in at Limerick, top 10 with the guys at the Worlds last year, and then obviously this year that amazing run to the semi-finals, kind of the historic semi-final run for the first time in a long time, and finishing in fourth. So quite the run. Not getting him out the scene just yet. He's going to be staying with the smoke, and I'm sure you'll be able to catch up with him.
We'll see him this weekend.
Over the weekend in Prague. But yeah, I mean, his Instagram post kind of said it all. And if you've not seen that, go have a look. It'll be a big change in the GB setup, and he's been a steady custodian of the quarterback position for like we say, in the kind of the post-COVID era. So good luck to him. Obviously with the like I say, we're not losing him. You're still going to be with the smoke. One hell of a run.
Yeah.
One hell of a run from Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie has been a thorn in my side for a long time. My debut with the Hornets was Iron Man 2020, I think. 2019, whenever it was. 2020 go ahead because of COVID? I can't remember. Whichever one it was. I met the Smoke for the first time in the final, and that was either 5 or 6 years ago. I can't quite remember. And I only first managed to beat them this year, a few weeks ago. So, yeah, like, I've been on the pitch against him many times, and he has proved exactly what he's worth every single time. So, congratulations to him on a stellar international career. And yeah, I'm sure I'll see him on a pitch then this weekend or in January or February or September next year, whenever. But
whenever it happens to be. Well, you'll see him more often next year in the national, won't you? So, well, we'll see. Yeah. So, don't forget that. So, I've got all that to discuss later in the year as well. So, yes, thank you. And and Charlie's obviously he's been a big supporter of us and the coverage that we've been able to give over the European and the World Championships recently. So thank you. Thanks to Charlie for one of the funniest moments of like a new year as well. So and that brings us on to Champions Bowl, where the London Smoke and Glasgow Hornets will be obviously representing the GB scene. Yep. So looking forward to that. There's obviously all the big names from around Europe that you might expect, with Waldorf and the Pikes and Dom's Alley and the women's side. Lasses, I
There's
think,
a
on the
lot.
women's side.
Like every single name that you come across, like
Think
even
of
when you
think of the
haven't
best
heard of.
think of the best teams in Europe, and they'll be there. And then think of the best teams you've not heard of yet, and they're also there.
It's wild. Like there was a couple of names I didn't recognise. I know most of the teams that were there. And then you're like, oh, go and have a quick look on Instagram or something. You pop up and it's like, oh, Kingdom champions from X amount ago. And you're like, great. Other team won their national championship this year. Great. So it's a really high standard of football. It's invite only, which is great. Obviously, it's been held by the Split Sea Wolves in Porek, not actually in Split, in Croatia, past few years. And then it was where Dorado Bowl was held in previous years, close to
In Spain.
Barcelona before COVID. But it's like the whole setup of it for a club team to go out to this sort of level. Fair enough, it's costing us a fair bit of money and stuff and whatever, but like we get lunch provided for us, a hotel provided for us, facilities provided for us. It's such an incredible setup for an amateur sport. I'm quite blown away with how professional to an extent it
Yeah,
is.
you
Like
can
we're
say
getting
it.
travel cards like to go around Prague. I'm getting like a accreditation like necklace thing that I need to write my name and club on. Like it's wild. Yeah, like a few of the teams that you mentioned there, Spatzens, they're not the German champions this year. They lost to Waldorf in the final.
But
They
we beat them
beat
last year, right?
they beat them last year. They went through the Luxembourg Lions, who are in my group. So I'll
Very
be
nice.
playing them first thing on Friday morning, which will be fun. They came third in the DFFL, Deutsche Flag Football League, in 2024. Who else did you say? Pikes, Swiss national champions. I've always kind of had a bit of a weird obsession with them because I went to Lucerne a few years ago and I loved it.
Nice.
Yeah, they play some great football. I've seen them. I watched them at Champions Bowl previously as well on the live stream. Firebats are going to be there. Valencia
Yeah,
Firebats.
Valencia. Very good squad. Very good squad.
They lost to a team called the Templars in the Spanish finals last year, I believe. I think that's. I'm not sure if it's regional in Spain or if there's one big final or what. Or like such a big compared to us.
It's a large country, and everything's really far apart.
Kiko, who used to play for the Killer Bees, will be over there, so it'll be good to see him again.
Oh, nice.
And then the Centaurs coming over from what's that other country? France, who beat Molossus in the finals last year as well, which are two really impressive teams. And then just to top it all off, Sphinx de Pau,
Let's
like
fix the power in anyway.
one of the best quarterbacks in Europe at the minute. Talent pouring out, pouring out.
Yeah, it's some event, and hopefully we'll be able to kind of work out where the streams are and all that kind of stuff, because it's
We'll
going
post
to
them.
be, we'll get them posted, because I can't quite remember who is in the group with Smoke, and I've now
London's
totally
group.
lost. London's group,
I think
Waldorf,
London.
Firebats, and the Black Miners. Yeah, that's the group A. Minging, absolutely minging. So yeah, Group A: Waldorf, London, Valencia, and Valence. Group B: Vienna Vipers, Munich Spatzen, Grenoble Centaurs, and the Hague Hyenas. Obviously, we know them. Frequent visitors to Flag and Year, and obviously the hosts of Pink Bowl. Group C, we've got the Arona 65ers, the Novi Beograd Orlovi, sorry, and the Sphinx Depot. I should have looked at these beforehand and practiced them. And then in Group D, some team called the Glasgow Hornets, the Luzerne Pikes, and the Lechtenberg Lions. And then in Group E, the Bobcats, who there's too many accents on where they're from. Apologies again. The Klostenberg Indians, who I think is Finland.
Indians are no Austrian.
Austria, and the ASVZ Blackbirds.
Another incredible team.
Another good German side. So that's very, very cool. And then on the female side, one of my favorite teams to watch whenever I get the chance, the Domzali Tigers head up Group A, alongside the Thunder from Austria, the Osberg Lions, and the excellently named Catania Pink Elephants. In Group B, we've got the Dijon Fenris, the De La Salle Saints, the Prague Black Panthers, and the Munich Spatzen. So they're sending both their sides. The Red Lips head up Group C alongside the Scorpions, Bobcats, and the Waldorf Wanderers. Whereas in Group D, the Winterthur Warriors, the Vienna Constables, East Kilbride Pirates, obviously one of our other British representation, and the Montpellier Hurricanes
Yeah,
in Group
it's
D.
like
So it's a stacked tournament.
the
Obviously,
female front.
Pirates
Oh,
Pirates coming off their number one seed last year, WFFL. I'm sure they would have liked a tune up in the league before this weekend.
probably, yeah. We had quite a few of them playing for us at Winter League just to kind of get going again, but obviously the talent over there is just miles different. I think it's quite tough to look past Molossus Domzali final. Red Lips versus Tigers. It's
Yeah, that's a
they've seen each other so many times in Big Bowl, like King Bowl, like, but
it's a
just seeing
mouth-watering
that in
game to think about as well,
yes,
like that.
that in 40-minute format.
Yeah, of course, because that's something maybe a lot of people don't realize is this is IFAF rule tournament
Yep. There's no ties though. Every single game will go to overtime
until there's a winner. Yeah.
until there's a winner. Yeah,
And thankfully, we know the rules now because we've seen it enough times. We've seen it enough
it's
times recently that we know everybody. I think everybody in the UK at least now knows the overtime rules, and probably in Austria too.
I'm not sure on the female setup, but the men's side is day one, so the Friday will be a ranking day.
Yes.
The top 12 teams, so essentially everybody that comes bottom of their group is going to get put into their own bracket, and you're just going to play a placement game. Whereas everybody else will be put into ranked in different groups, and then you'll play your group game, your ranked group games on Saturday, and then I think it will be the top two from each go on to play on the Sunday.
Cuts on the Sunday. Yeah, I think they've done that the last little while. It's not a bad shout actually. Like, I mean, you're at the mercy of the original draw, but at the same time, if you just have to win one game,
Yep.
just to sort yourself out and win more, you get yourself potentially a inverted commas easier second round match. Yeah, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go.
Play Waldorf. I have to play the ASV Blackbirds, who
Yes.
are
Oh,
in Switzerland. What a shame.
yes. Oh, I missed. Yeah, oh, I missed the Pikes, so I've got Sphinx to Poe instead. Great. So yeah, that's great. That's happening this weekend. We'll do all we can to share to share as much as we can of the streaming and stuff, and obviously, we'll get the full breakdown from yourself later on. But big stage, feeling good about it. Feeling excited.
Chilling and killing. Like, it's past few weeks, it's just been trying since the final. Pretty much, it's just been trying to get my knee ready. Like, I didn't know if I was going to be able to go over or not. But at the end of the day, it's just football. I'm in the beer capital of the world, playing football with some of the closest friends that I have. Like, I cannot complain about a single thing. Yeah, it's going to be a good weekend. It's nice. This will actually be the first time I've ever been away with the Hornets as well. I've missed the past few tournaments that they've been to, so getting to go away with them will be probably somewhat of a different experience than I'm used to instead of partying all weekend. But yeah, it's nice to go over and see the people that you see on Instagram. And you're like, you're quite big, you're quite impressive.
Yeah.
I've
Seen you. I've seen you make one catch from 7 different angles before on Instagram.
Yeah, like
so
it's quite surreal at times, realizing that I'm actually playing alongside these guys. Like, I've earned the right to actually go and play against these guys. Like, that's
half of them were playing together at some tournament in September.
Paris a few weeks ago, like it's the big stage is where it's at. It's always the most fun. Like I said what I said on Instagram a couple of weeks ago. Like, the limelight can be terrifying, but if you can break through that, the reward on the other side is some of the best feelings that you'll ever have in the world. So I encourage everyone and anyone to try and get to this level and play at these sort of events. And I'm sure I'll come back with some stories, both positive and
Looking forward to
negative,
it.
but that's what it's all
Yeah,
about.
looking forward to it. And yeah, nice to obviously see members of our little British community on the stage. So yeah, good luck to the Hornets, the Smoke, and the Pirates. Obviously, as they fly the flag for us over there in Prague. Because yeah, we'll be watching. And I guess the final segue of the night on the subject of flying the flag is I've got a little endeavor, a little mini project going on at
Gold.
the moment. I need the flag football community to help me out here. So once again, the BAFA Hall of Fame nominations are open, and they are open till midnight on Halloween. I don't know if that's deliberate or not, but it is spooky season, so maybe. They got to get the ghosts of flag football past and football past to fill in. But there's a number of different bits of criteria, which I have had open on my laptop all week until earlier on when I closed it, which was very stupid of me. But basically, the BAFA Hall of Fame has been going on now for a while. And while flag football representatives have been nominated before, I know for a fact they have been nominated before, there are no flag footballers or coaches or administrators or club volunteers in the BAFA Hall of Fame. Obviously, I take grave offence at that and would like to make a change. The campaign we're going to rally here basically is we would like, and please do DM me on this, I'd like to find a candidate. We'd like to get people involved, let people know, do it all properly, play by the rules, make sure all the criteria are ticked, and basically flood the BAFA inbox with nominations for this person, whoever that person may be. I don't know yet. The criteria mean that most of the people who would be eligible are before my time. So, geez, we're kind of looking at you to help us out here. But yeah, if you're interested and you have an idea of someone you think would be worthy of BAFA Hall of Fame on the flag football side, please do let us know. And we will make sure that at least one nomination goes in. Because yeah, it's about damn time that the people that built the sport that is now massive,
Recognised.
massive flag is massive in it. That
Wicked.
quick that bit, clip that flag is massive. What? That we recognise the people that built the sport to where it is today. So that's obviously happening at BAFA and at next month, pretty much bang on the 15th of November. If you're in Scotland, the Scoff Awards will go off in Glasgow. The nominations for that have just closed. The Hall of Fame nominations closed a little while ago. And the decision-making committee will be meeting later this week to create the shortlists. So we're looking forward to sharing those with you and kind of honouring the last year of flag football in Scotland, which has been another great year for flag football in Scotland at pretty much every level. I'm looking forward to that one. But yeah, BAFA Flag Hall of Fame, BAFA British American Football Association Hall of Fame doesn't have any flag footballists in it, and we're going to change that. So let us know. I don't know how, but we're going to change. We're going to change that somehow. So yeah, give us a bell if you have an idea. I would love to hear from you. But yeah, I think that's.
I think that's about us, mate.
I think that's the week in flag football. Really, another couple of very cool opportunities for our champion teams at the NFL London games. Seeing them on the telly,
That's quite cool.
being honoured. The Irish team were the same at the one in Croke Park.
Yep.
Pretty cool stepping out on Irish as an Irish athlete stepping out onto Croke Park.
Was
Haven't
did they
spoken to any of the guys yet, but that's pretty
uh,
cool. That's
in
pretty damn cool.
a flag tournament at the US Embassy where some friends of the show
Yes, Johnny,
got to
me and
meet
Sam.
Johnny and Sam got to meet Mr. Goodell himself, and then obviously our European champions got to meet Roger and a bunch of other incredibly talented female and male
Yeah,
athletes
Red
across.
Lions were there, Lionesses were there. A pretty good year for female sport in the UK, and long may it continue. So yeah, that's a nice happy way to end it. That's our week in sport. In the sport, that's our week in flag football. So yeah, it's goodbye from Cami,
Goodbye.
and it's goodbye from me. Thank you very much for listening. That is the way we HNC it.